Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something pretty significant happening where AI meets extended reality.
Yeah, it's this big announcement from EON Reality.
That's the one. They're launching what they call their outcome-driven AI-first platform.
Right. And looking at their announcement, the source material we have, it's positioned as, well, much more than just new software.
Okay.
They're framing it as this whole system, like an ecosystem aimed squarely at human potential development. So learning, jobs, even making money.
Right. Got it. So our mission today, let's try and cut through some of the jargon. We want to unpack what this platform is according to them, understand the thinking behind the pricing, which looks interesting, and, cover the key features and goals they're laying out.
Exactly. Help you, the listener, get a quick grasp of the main ideas and what it might mean.
So foundationally, what are we looking at?
Well, the source calls it a revolutionary ecosystem.
Okay.
It's built on spatial AI and XR.
AI first and spatial AI. Break that down a bit.
Sure. AI first means AI is the core driver, not an add-on. And spatial AI, that's AI designed to understand and work within 3D environments, like it sees space.
Okay. And they've built this around 4 pillars, was it?
Yeah, 4 pillars for human development. That's the framework they use.
What are they?
So there's skills, then jobs, then income, and finally this concept they call the third way for education.
The third way.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do their products fit into these pillars?
Right, so according to the source, skills is mainly addressed by their core EON XR platform. The idea there is democratizing content creation, letting people build XR experiences without needing to code.
Making it easier to learn and teach using XR makes sense. And jobs.
It connects to the EON Career Compass. It's described as using AI to help people navigate career paths and also help organizations with workforce transformation.
Okay. AI career guidance. Then income.
That's linked to the EON Entrepreneur Guide. It offers a structured path. They actually mention an 8-step method to go from an idea to potentially generating revenue.
So a framework for starting a business using their tools. And the last one, the third way.
That maps to the EON Spatial AI Academy. They're positioning this as a genuinely new educational model, maybe transformative.
Interesting. And there was a quote from their chairman, right, Dan Lajerskar?
Yeah, the source includes that. He emphasizes the goal isn't just, selling software, but democratizing AI and XR technologies.
Yeah.
And creating accessible pathways to human potential.
So the mission is baked into the platform's design.
That's how they present it, absolutely.
Okay, that brings us to pricing. You said it was interesting. It's not the usual per feature cost.
No, not really. The source calls it a value-based approach. Basically, the price scales with the potential impact on the user or the needs of the organization.
So it's tied to the outcome you might get, not just the tools themselves.
Exactly, paying for perceived value, for results.
How does that actually work in practice? What are the tiers?
Okay, so the source outlines a few tiers kind of matching the pillars. The starting point is the foundation tier. This is for skills and basic AI development.
And what products are in that?
That's the core EON XR platform we mentioned, and also the EON AI platform.
And the cost for that entry point?
It's listed as $36 per user per month for each of those platforms.
$36 a month.
Yeah.
And the justification?
They say it's about entry-level accessibility, giving people access to this huge library, over 36 million 3D and 360 assets, plus enterprise features that used to be really expensive or complex.
Okay, accessible entry. Then there's a step up.
Yes, the professional tier, which focuses on career advancement.
Makes sense, aligning with the jobs pillar. What's included?
This has the EON Career Compass platform, priced at $72 per user monthly, and something called EON Career Brainy, described as an AI interface for $36 per user monthly.
So double the price for the main career platform. How do they position that value?
Well, the source argues it reflects the potential return on investment, like getting a job or a better salary. They compare it favorably to, say, executive coaching fees, but this is like having 24/7 AI mentorship.
Right, okay. And for people aiming to generate revenue, the income pillar.
That's the business tier. Products listed here are the EON Entrepreneur Guide platform at $95 a month per user, the Entrepreneur Brainy AI interface at $48 a month, and another tool, EON Vibe Coder, at $150 per user monthly.
Okay, prices climbing there. How do they justify those?
They cite some specific metrics in the source, things like users achieving 73% faster development time, 68% cost reduction, 91% quality assurance pass rates, basically arguing these tools deliver high ROI potential for businesses.
Got it. Using results to back the price. And then there's that special tier for the third way.
Yep, the Educational Revolution tier. This features the EON Spatial AI Academy platform.
And the cost.
That's $125 per user monthly.
The highest price per user we've seen so far.
It is. And the source explicitly calls this an innovation premium. They justify it by claiming it enables learning speeds up to 4 times faster and represents a complete paradigm shift in education. So you're paying for a revolutionary approach, supposedly.
4 times faster. That's a bold claim.
Very bold.
The source also mentioned bigger enterprise solutions too, didn't it? Fixed annual costs.
It did, yeah. Things like the EON Incubator for $150,000 a year, or the EON Data Flywheel for around $50 a year. These seem aimed at large organizations, institutions needing predictable costs for big rollouts. Institutional transformation, they call it.
So a whole spectrum, from individual access up to large-scale organizational change.
Right, all under this umbrella of value-based pricing tied to outcomes.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Beyond the structure and pricing, what about the tech itself? What specific capabilities does the source highlight?
They point to several things they see as innovative. For the basic EON XR, there's that revolutionary visual interface, the whole point being no coding needed to create things.
Making it drag and drop, essentially.
Seems like it, yeah. They also talk about digital twin knowledge injection, which sounds like feeding the AI all the data about a real object or place so it understands it in 3D.
Okay.
And spatial meetings, so collaborating inside these 3D environments.
And the underlying AI, the AI layer.
That's obviously key.
Yeah.
The source mentions conversational content creation. Imagine just talking to the AI to build a 3D lesson.
Wow. Okay.
Also, photorealistic AI avatars for training, making simulations more real. And a core tech called Spatial IQ.
Spatial IQ. What's that?
Described as AI that can see and understand 3D worlds autonomously. That sounds pretty central to the whole spatial AI idea.
Makes sense. And the Career Compass uses this AI for job stuff.
Yes, the source emphasizes its role in AI-driven workforce transformation, particularly looking at the job market shifts expected between, say, 2025 and 2033. It even mentions practical things like VR interview practice.
Okay. And the Entrepreneur Guide, using AI for business ideas.
Exactly. Alongside that 8-step process, it has AI tools specifically for generating business ideas. And in the Spatial AI Academy, that third way, it integrates AI across all those areas: skills, jobs, income, within these immersive 3D environments. That's supposedly how they get that 4x faster learning claim.
They also specifically called out a couple of technologies as breakthroughs, didn't they?
They did. That EON Vibe Coder tool from the business tier described as a 20-step process involving AI and humans working together to build applications. And Spatial IQ came up again.
So the AI understanding and helping build in 3D seems to be a core part of their innovation story.
Definitely seems that way. These capabilities are positioned as the engine driving those promised outcomes.
So pulling back a bit, how does the source connect all this to their market position and, global impact?
Well, they list what they see as competitive advantages.
Mm-hmm.
The value-based pricing, the scalable economics of their model, the way the different products work together. They call that portfolio synergy, and their existing market leadership.
And beyond business advantages, they talk about broader goals, right? Global impact and accessibility.
Yes. The source mentions economic transformation, things like democratizing the AI economy, helping bridge skills gaps, which links back to those skills and jobs pillars,
Right.
and also increasing access to entrepreneurship, particularly for what they call underserved talent that connects to the income pillar.
And an educational revolution, that's the third way again?
Precisely. The source talks about getting past the limits of traditional schooling and even standard online learning. They mention features like cultural adaptation and multilanguage support, aiming for genuine global reach.
And they back this up with some results. Metrics?
Yeah, the source cites some proven results. Things like institutions seeing a 5x jump in student-created apps, innovation teams cutting time to market by 82%, and those figures we mentioned earlier about faster development time and lower costs.
So they're presenting evidence to say this isn't just talk, it actually delivers significant improvements.
That's certainly the picture they paint in the announcement, yes. Validated ways to get better results.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. EON Reality's new outcome-driven platform, based on the source material, is presented as this, comprehensive ecosystem. It's AI-powered, focused on accelerating human potential skills, careers, income, and introduces this idea of the third way in education.
Yeah, it's a big vision. Bundling different tools under this outcome-focused banner with that tiered, value-based pricing.
Taking AI and XR and packaging it around things you can measure: human progress, organizational results.
Exactly.
So here's the final thought, maybe a bit provocative based on what we've discussed from the source. If, and it's a big if, but if these claims about delivering much faster learning, like 4x faster, and slashing development time and costs, if that really holds up through spatial AI and XR, what does that actually mean for the value of, say, a traditional university degree that takes years?
Good question.
Or, current job training methods that are often slow and linear. If platforms claiming these kinds of rapid, measurable results become common, how fast could the whole landscape for education, for career paths, even for innovation fundamentally change?
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, about the speed of change that might be just around the corner. Something to think about.